Here's the plot twist nobody saw coming. Apple just announced that your next iPhone will run full AI features without ever sending your data to Apple's servers. Not to the cloud, not anywhere outside your pocket. The entire AI system lives on your device, locked behind encryption that Apple itself can't crack. For years, everyone assumed that real AI required massive cloud servers in some data center. That's how Google does it, how OpenAI does it, how Microsoft does it. They all need your data in the cloud to make the magic work. But Apple's betting that's not true anymore. They're betting that if you put enough computing power in a phone chip, you can do everything locally, everything private. And at WWDC 2026, they just proved they might be right. This isn't just a feature update, it's a completely different philosophy about what AI should be. And the rest of the industry is watching very carefully to see if it works. Apple's had a strange relationship with AI. For years, Siri was basically a punchline, reliable for setting timers, but you wouldn't ask it anything complicated. Meanwhile, Google's assistant got smarter. Alexa learned more tricks. ChatGPT showed up, and suddenly everyone wanted AI that could actually think. Apple stayed quiet. They released minor updates, optimizations, small improvements, and a lot of people thought they were falling behind. The narrative got pretty loud. Apple doesn't get AI. They don't care about AI. They're too focused on privacy to build anything actually useful. Then 2025 happened, and something shifted. Rumors started circulating about a massive AI overhaul coming to iOS. Not just smarter Siri, not just on-device improvements. A complete rethink of how AI integrates into the operating system itself. And then WWDC 2026 arrived. What Apple showed was staggering. They didn't just catch up to Google or OpenAI. They showed a completely different path forward, one that nobody else is taking. So what exactly is Apple's AI doing? Let's be clear. This isn't a general-purpose chatbot like ChatGPT that lives on your phone. It's much more integrated than that. Think of it as thousands of tiny specialized AI models, each built for one specific task, all embedded directly into iOS. One model handles photo organization. Another writes emails. Another summarizes documents. Another helps you search through your device. Each one is designed to do one job really well. And crucially, they all run locally on your device's neural processing hardware. Modern iPhone chips have special silicon specifically for AI, and Apple's using every bit of it. Here's why that matters. When you use cloud AI, your data travels to a server, gets processed, comes back. That's fast enough for chatbots, but it's not fast enough for features that need to run millions of times per day. It adds latency. It uses battery, and it requires your data to leave your device. Apple's saying, no, that's not the trade-off we are willing to make anymore. Everything stays on your phone. Processing happens instantly. Battery drain is minimal. And Apple, they never see your data at all. It's encrypted so thoroughly that even if someone broke into Apple's systems, they couldn't decrypt anything. So what can you actually do with this? Apple showed some specifics. Writing assistants across all apps. When you're drafting an email or a message, your phone suggests better phrasing without sending your words to Apple servers. Image search that understands what you're actually looking for. Search for photos of me laughing, and it finds them, learning from context and your face, all locally. Summarization that works on articles, emails, documents, even voice memos. Your phone boils down a long transcript into key points. Notification priority. Instead of bothering you with every notification, your phone learns which ones actually matter to you and surfaces those first. Siri finally became useful. Instead of only handling single-word commands, you can ask Siri complex multi-step questions about your personal data. Show me all the photos I took in Japan last month where I was with my partner, and Siri understands the context, finds them, and answers. None of that requires the internet. None of it requires your data to leave your device. It's all happening on your iPhone, in real time, powered entirely by the silicon in your pocket. Here's where Apple's approach gets genuinely radical. Google has Gemini, Microsoft has Copilot, OpenAI has ChatGPT. All three built their AI on cloud scale. That means massive data centers, incredible processing power, but also your data has to travel to them. Yes, they are privacy-conscious companies, but by design, your information is being sent somewhere, analyzed, processed, stored. Apple's saying, what if we stop doing that entirely? What if most AI actually happens locally, and we only use the cloud for rare specialized tasks that are too complex for a phone chip? It's a fundamentally different strategy. Google and Microsoft are saying our AI is so good it's worth the privacy trade-off. Apple's saying we're not making that trade-off, privacy is non-negotiable, so we're optimizing AI differently. Now, there's a catch. Local AI on current phone chips isn't quite as powerful as cloud AI. For some advanced tasks, you might still need to send data to Apple's servers. But here's the part most people miss. Apple lets you choose. Each feature has a privacy threshold. Simple stuff stays local. Complex stuff, you get to decide. Send it to Apple for better results, or keep it local and accept that it might not be perfect. That choice, that transparency, that's what's different here. Why does any of this matter beyond just being clever engineering? Because it's about power. Right now, if Google, Microsoft, or OpenAI wanted to change how their AI interprets your data, they could. Push a server update, boom, your data is processed differently. Not maliciously necessarily, maybe for better ads or to improve the model. But they could. Apple's arguing that shouldn't be possible. Your data, your device, your rules. And if Apple pulls this off at scale, if millions of people start trusting that their AI won't snoop, it changes everything. It changes how other companies think about AI. It changes what users expect. It puts real competitive pressure on Google and Microsoft to rethink their cloud-heavy strategies. There's also an economic angle. If AI runs locally, Apple doesn't need to operate massive data centers to power it. That's less cost, less infrastructure, less operational burden. Whereas Google and Microsoft, they're locked into cloud AI. They've built their entire strategy around it. If the market changes toward on-device AI, they have a problem, and they know it. That's why you're hearing pushback already. Tech commentators saying this won't work. It's not as good as cloud AI, Apple's being impractical. Maybe. But what they're really saying is this could hurt our business model. Okay, so how does this actually work for you? First, not every iPhone gets it. Apple's rolling out these features only on newer chips. iPhone 16, iPhone 17, future devices with the latest silicon. If you've got an older phone, you're out of luck. That's a hard limitation. You need the neural processing power. Second, these features roll out gradually. Apple announced them at WWDC, full availability. That's coming over the next several months, staggered. Some features in iOS 18, some later. So your timeline might be summer 2026 onwards, depending on which feature. Third, these features are opt-in. Apple's not forcing this on you. You go into settings, navigate to AI features, and turn on what you want. Some will be on by default. Others, you have to explicitly enable. And for features that can send data to Apple's servers if you ask, there's a clear toggle. You'll see this feature requires sending data to Apple servers and you choose, allow it or don't. It's not hidden. Apple's making a big deal about transparency here. And finally, these features work best when you let them learn your patterns. The more your phone understands how you use it, the better the AI gets at helping you. That data stays on your device, always. Here's what this means for you. AI is no longer something that only works in the cloud. It's not something you have to trust one big company to manage responsibly. It's something that can live on your device under your control. That's the vision Apple's pushing. Now, will it work at scale? Will regular users trust it? Will the industry follow? Those are open questions. But Apple's made a bold bet that the answer is yes. And if they are right, it doesn't just change how iPhones work. It changes what AI means. It transforms it from a service that companies provide to you into a tool that you actually own. And that change, from AI as a cloud service to AI as a device feature, could be one of the most important technological transitions of the next few years. So here's what to watch. Over the next 6 months, watch whether these on-device features actually work as well as Apple's claiming. Watch whether users actually care about privacy enough to prefer them over cloud AI. And watch whether Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI start rethinking their strategies. Because if on-device AI catches on, everything changes. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what happens next. Follow for daily AI news.